Hello beautiful people and welcome back to another video by your girl here, Big Bubbly Beauty. It's great to see you all again. So today's video is going to be something a little bit different. I have said before that I suck at makeup and I realize this, but Burt's Bees now has a lot more makeup products than they used to. And I do love the way that it feels on my skin. It's pretty natural and it doesn't make me break out as much, which is something that I've been doing a lot recently. So I figured, why not try a full face of Burt's Bees makeup? There are a few things that they are missing, but for the most part, they have everything for a pretty full natural face. And so I was excited to try it all out. I mean, I love their lip balms. They had a powder foundation in the past that I really loved. So why not? Let's get into it. So the first thing that I always like to do is just clean my face before I start, just so I don't trap any oil in, especially if I start doing makeup later in the day versus when I first wake up. And so they have these facial cleansing towelettes with cotton extract in them. They're supposed to be for sensitive skin, so there we go. They don't smell too bad. They're not unscented in the sense of that they don't have a smell, so they're unscented in the sense of that no scent is added to them. But things that are unscented always have a smell associated with them from the natural products that are in them, usually anyways. So it doesn't have any added scent, it does have a scent, but it is quite nice and fresh and clean smelling. It is a cotton type smell, I think, is what they're going for. So it's quite nice, actually. The next thing that I do when I do makeup is I put on some moisturizer, because I find that my skin is very combination and it can get quite oily, but a lot of the times it gets really dry with makeup. So I get this unfortunate balance of being really oily like right here and around here, but then being super dry out in here. So I like to moisturize first, and they have this Anti-Blemish Solutions Daily Moisturizing Lotion that I really wanted to try. So here we go. And it says it's made with salicylic acid derived from willow bark. And so the other thing I find is that it might be because I'm so into K-pop, but I really prefer dewy complexions in makeup to the perfectly matte ones that I see in Western makeup a lot. I think that's where it comes from, of why I like the dewiness. Either that or just it appears more natural, and as someone who doesn't really wear makeup all that often, I kind of like that natural look quite a bit more. So I want my makeup to look fairly natural without, well, it's still being obvious that I'm wearing makeup, but not be too much, right? So that it doesn't change my features. One of the things my fiance always says is that he loves my makeup looks when they enhance my features, but not when they change how I look. Because he fell in love with me and likes my face. You know what I mean? Next is the foundation. So this one I wasn't able to test the color exactly on myself. They had a tester that was a shade lighter and a shade darker. And the shade lighter was way too light and the shade darker was a little too dark, and so I went with the one in between. I don't know if it's gonna work. The problem is that they didn't have the biggest selection in terms of shades. So as a white appearing person, it's not so bad, but I think anyone with darker skin tones might have a very hard time finding shades, which is the one downside to this brand. So I know some people like to apply it with a beauty blender. I have not yet mastered that skill. I don't know how people do it. I don't know what is the technique that goes into that, because I can never make it look right. So I'm stuck with brushes. And immediately this is way too light. Oh dear. I picked wrong. Never have I wished so much for a foundation to oxidize. It's not full coverage, but then again, I didn't expect it to be because it's supposed to be more natural looking, but it's actually giving pretty decent coverage of my red marks. So I'm not mad at it, honestly. I'm mad at myself for not picking a better shade match, but that's not its fault. And for the people out there saying that I missed the primer, the reason for that is because there was no primer with this set. That is one of the things that they are missing from the line, is a primer and a setting spray. And the reason I didn't do a primer from a different line that is my favorite primer is because different primers can interact with the makeup in different ways and essentially make it not sit as nicely. And so rather than affect how the foundation would look on my skin by using a primer that's not part of the same line or not technically supposedly designed to be used with one another, I decided to play it safe and just go without a primer, because they're not always necessary. They just help your makeup stay on longer and can have different effects, but if the point is to let your skin breathe, maybe a primer's not necessary. And sorry, that was the shade 1010 Ivory. Next, I want to try their concealer. This was something that they did not have when I bought Burt's Bees makeup for the first time, back when I bought my powder foundation, and this is what was really lacking, because I do have those spots that I really want to cover up, all those red spots from the acne. I just want to make sure that they're not shining through. I don't need to cover them up fully because then they can't breathe and then they get worse, but I do want them to be a little bit less noticeable. So I'm very happy when they came out with concealer. We'll see how full coverage this one is. And this is in the shade 1710 Light/Medium. So I'm going to start off with covering up the acne spots, and then I will do the under eyes after that. So pros, it covers up them okay. Cons, it doesn't really work that well. Like, it feels nice and light, but it doesn't really cover the red spots fully. Like, you would have to layer it on and then it would look quite cakey. So the pro is actually that it blends with the foundation quite well, and it actually shade matches with the foundation quite well, but it doesn't really cover that well. I don't understand why people draw these like massive triangles underneath their eyes in order to do their makeup. I've always found that quite weird. Like, I just want to cover the spots, the dark spots underneath my eyes, like the little bags, and that's it. Why do I need like a clown face? That's just me personally. I've never understood it. And we're done. It did brighten. It didn't really take away the dark circles very much. Again, it's a very light coverage concealer, but it did brighten them a little bit, so I'll give them a pass for that. Overall though, I would say the foundation actually is pretty good coverage and really easy to apply. It's the tiniest bit heavy, but that might be my application, and is too light for me, but again, that's my fault. I would give the foundation a pass. Like, I like it. I actually like the moisturizer so far. And the cleaning towelettes are good so far. I'll try to test them later and see if they're good for makeup removal, and I'll let you guys know. But right now, the concealer is a no, sadly. Next, oh dear, the thing I don't know how to do, brows. Yay! Like, what do you do with this thing? Is this what you do? I've never actually done my brows before, and I think part of that is because being half Indian, as in from India, Indian. My dad is from India and my mom is from Canada. I have pretty thick brows. I've never really needed to fill them in, so I don't actually know what I'm doing whatsoever. So we'll just try this. Let me know in the comments below, did I do that right? So this was the brow pencil in 1610 Brunette. I mean, I can't really tell a big difference, but it looks good, I think. You tell me. Next, we will do this eyeshadow palette. It's this 1505 Shimmering Nudes, and I was torn between getting this and a purple palette, but I thought that this might be easier for me. It says it's 100% natural, cruelty-free, and it's actually made in Canada, which is really cool. And so this is what it looks like on the inside. So with this lighter color, I'm just going to do it under the brow bone, in my inner corner, and then I'm going to pick this middle shade to do all over the lid. It's actually quite a nice shimmery shade. I like that. It's very natural looking and very light, but quite honestly, this is what I like in my makeups. It's a very light, shimmery, natural looking shadow. Like, it's pretty pigmented. It's a very natural shade. Now I'm going to try a little bit of this darkest shade out on the edges. So any makeup techniques that I'm using, I learned from YouTube. I'm just going to take this big fluffy brush and just kind of blend away a little bit more. It looks nice to me. It might not be everybody's taste, but again, I actually quite like this, and I thought they blended really well together. Actually really well. I like the slight sheen, but not shimmer. So it's not like those little flecks. It's just kind of shiny. It's not necessarily glitter. I don't like glitter. What do people normally do next? Right, eyeliner. I got this Nourishing eyeliner pencil in 1405 Soft Black. Some people like the liquid eyeliner. I do as well, but it does create a harsher line and it is harder to control. Whereas if you mess up with the pencil, it's a little bit easier to fix. Watch, I'm gonna regret saying that in just a minute, but we're gonna try it. Oh, and I forgot to say it for the brow pencil. It was super soft and creamy and very easy to apply. It went on so smoothly. In fact, it was actually hard to use too little. Like it was going on pretty easily, so it might have been easy to go too thick, but that's actually quite good for a brow pencil because it means it's coming off easy and you don't have to push. The eyeliner is not nearly as creamy. So the first eye went on really well. Anybody who's ever done makeup before knows it's the second eye. That's always a pain in the butt. So time to try that. So time to try that eye. Yay! Concentration time. I hate doing both sides. Like I wish there was just some sort of print, like a copy paste machine for your eyelids, because that would be great for eyeliner because it always ends up not matching. Okay, good enough. I mean, it's an eyeliner. There's not much to say about it. I don't know how exactly an eyeliner can be nourishing. Maybe that's just me, but I mean, it went on okay. It's a pretty decent eyeliner. I don't have much else to say about it because it's not like it was super stellar. It's not like it's bad. It's just kind of average. It's a decent eyeliner. And it does go on black, not gray, which is nice. So the next one is this Burt's Bees Nourishing Mascara. Again, actually no, I could see a mascara being nourishing. So this one I got in 1305 Classic Black. Has anyone ever mastered the ability to do their lashes with their mouth not open like a fish? Because like, that just feels really weird. I think every girl opens their mouth kind of like a, not that much, kind of like a little, when they're doing their eyelashes. Like it's just a thing. Oh, there we go. They're done. I mean, it actually is quite a nice mascara. Most mascaras feel quite chunky, and this is quite smooth. That might be the nourishing formula that they're talking about. But I do actually quite like this mascara. It gives a decent amount of volume. It's quite black, but it doesn't feel cakey. Like, it's weird to say that a mascara can be cakey, but you guys have to know what I mean, that it feels clumpy. A lot of the times you're quite dry, whereas this doesn't. It actually feels like a liquid going on my eyelashes. So I quite like that actually. Next, I have the Burt's Bees Blush 1205 Bare Peach. They had quite a few shades of blush, but this was honestly my favorite. I know I'm so basic with my makeup. I can't help it. I like fresh, natural looking makeup. It's just who I am. But this one was so good looking, I couldn't resist. And it's blush with bamboo in it. I'm a bit of a bamboo fiend, if you guys haven't noticed yet, so yay. That's so cute, I didn't notice that. But it's got a little honeycomb on it. That's adorable. Oh, wow. Very powdery. Oh man. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh my god. Like, it's super natural, but it's so gorgeous. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh my god. One thing I wanted to try was the lightest shade in this. It's a little highlight. It was really nicely glimmery. Like, ooh. I don't know if you guys are seeing that, but I am. Such a nice shimmer. Oh my. Last but not least is this Burt's Bees Gloss Lip Crayon in Tahitian Sunset or 431. So it looks quite nice. Like, I love the color here. And most Burt's Bees lip products are quite nourishing, so they don't dry out your lips. So they look a little bit more glossy sometimes. Their tinted lip balms are my favorite thing to wear, but it's not much of a review if I wear them constantly already. So I wanted to actually review new products for you guys on camera. So all these things that I've tried on camera right now, I have never tried before. This is no different. This is a lip crayon. I actually love lip crayons because unlike a normal lipstick, you just draw it on. Like, if you're any good at art or any good with crayons or coloring inside the lines, this makes it so much easier. I remember one time a friend of mine, Sonia, was saying when she was doing my makeup that my lips are enormous. And I never really believed her until I started doing lip stuff with lip crayons. Now I know my lips are not big by beauty standards, but like, there's a lot of room to cover, so it takes quite a while to put on lipstick. And there we go. It is done. This is the finished makeup look. I'm actually quite happy with how that turned out. I think the only thing I did was I went a little heavy on the blush, and then the shade is a little too light. However, overall, I like it. I like it a lot. So, yeah, A+. It's good. I like it. Now, in total, all the pieces that I got cost about $180. I don't remember the breakdowns exactly or if anything was on sale. I don't think it was. I think that was everything at full price. This is not sponsored. I paid for this all with my own money. It's all my own opinion. I just wanted to try it because I do like this brand. I like that things are natural from them and it just feels nicer on my skin, and I'm happy that they expanded their line and I wanted to try more of it. A lot of the things I would recommend. So I adore this blush. Now it is a little overly powdery, so just be careful when you use it sparingly. Despite the fact that my palette was a little broken when I got it, I love the shades, I love the shimmer, so I would still recommend it. It went on quite nicely. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Like, it feels so moisturizing. It feels like I just put on lip balm, but I've got this balm color going on my lips. I'm sorry, that was a terrible pun. Anyways, I do like it, and actually at the bottom you can twist it so it comes up or down. So I really love that, and I would definitely recommend it. The brow pencil, I can't really review it. I don't use brow pencils. I think it looks good. That's all I got for you. It went on nicely. Smooth application. Does not come with a brow gel, which is something I've heard is necessary. So you guys make your own opinions. Mascara, probably one of the best feeling mascaras I've ever used. Like, it's not, doesn't feel clumpy, doesn't feel cakey, like it feels really good on the lashes. I don't think they're gonna dry my eyes out, which is a huge problem I have with mascaras. So I actually do love this mascara, and the color was great. It did feel like it plumped up my lashes a little bit, made them a little bit longer, so it's pretty good mascara. Eyeliner was average. I mean, it's good brand to support, but it didn't go on nearly as nice as the brow pencil, and it's not the best eyeliner I've used. It's definitely not the worst. So feel free to make your own opinions about that. It's not too bad though. Like, it's average. In terms of the foundation, I actually do like the foundation. Now, it's a bit more matte actually than I like. Like, I like it super dewy, but it's still pretty dewy, which I do like. And it's quite easy to apply. It spreads quite nicely. It's got decent coverage, not full coverage, but I would say medium coverage. So it's quite nice. I actually would recommend this. I think I just got the wrong shade for me in the summer. However, me in the winter would match this perfectly, because I become one pale person in the winter time because Canada does not get a lot of sun in the winter. So, yay. The concealer, I would probably say pass on. It doesn't actually cover that well, which made me so sad because I was really looking forward to this. This was the thing I was so happy that they finally came out with, but the shades are so limited. Like, I think there was light, medium, dark, and dark. Like, there really wasn't that many betweens. It wasn't as like the foundations where there was a bit more choice. And I mean, for light medium, it was still pretty darn light. So that does worry me, and it's not really great coverage. Like, I put it on and then I felt like I took it all off with my brush. So I would pass on this one, unfortunately. The moisturizer felt really good. I don't know if it would break me out, but it doesn't feel like it dried me out either. And I'm excited to keep trying it and seeing if it helps with the future breakouts. It did act quite nicely as a base, and did make it so that I didn't need the primer to help smooth things out prior to applying the makeup. And then these facial cleansing towelettes, I have used them to take makeup off actually before as well. This was the only item that I've tried before the video, and they're not bad. They're not the best at taking off the makeup, but they're not bad either. But they do get a little bit scratchy over time. Like, they're made for sensitive skin, but I actually found myself reacting to these a little bit more than my other makeup remover wipes. I don't know if that's just because my skin at the time was hypersensitive, but right now it felt really good right before I put on the makeup. But taking it off, because you have to use a few of these in order to take off all the makeup, which is the one downside, it wasn't as nice to take off makeup. It's good facial cleanser, but maybe not as a makeup remover. And so that is my full face of Burt's Bees makeup. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I know it's a different video than I normally do, but hopefully you guys liked it, and I will see you next time. Bye!